just because I'm in the minority and the vast majority of people may disagree with me in the fact that I think that Doom is completely dead now, and I never want to play a Doom game ever again, completely boycotting anything to do with Doom going forward, and I think it's a scumbag move to just kill the multiplayer, and I'm supposed to be fine with that?
If you've been around on the channel for a while, you've probably noticed one of the most common games to be shown in the background is Doom. It could be Doom 2, Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, Doom 1, and I'm pretty sure one time I even used Doom 64. So, as you can probably imagine, one of my most anticipated upcoming games is obviously Doom: The Dark Ages. Everything I've seen so far from this game looks absolutely amazing, from the environments, to the cape, to the weapons like the chainsaw shield and the gun that shoots out all the skulls. The enemies look awesome, the environment looks awesome. Pretty much everyone is excited for this game because the last two Doom games have been honestly amazing. I say almost everyone, because the individual that we're going to take a look at today wants to boycott the game, and it's for an incredibly dumb reason. So without any further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into the video.
So, wow, so I'm someone who, you guys know, I'm very critical of Microsoft. That is kind of the thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, bro, we don't really care. We just came here to listen to you talk about Doom, so we're gonna be skipping ahead a little bit until he starts talking about Doom: The Dark Ages.
That. One game I didn't mention, though, is Doom: The Dark Ages, which, obviously, you clicked on the video because of the title. It is a little provocative.
So the title has something to do with him boycotting Doom: The Dark Ages. I don't want to give it away in case this guy gets, like, brigaded or whatever, but I wouldn't say it's provocative, I'd say it's
And I know the vast majority of people, I'm going on a roll here, because I've had a lot of recent videos get dislike bombed.
You know, after seeing this video, it really isn't hard to tell why. Like, part of me thinks this guy's just getting rage clicks, to be honest. By the way, this video is 23 minutes long.
Most people watching this video are going to click the dislike button because they're not going to like what I'm going to say.
Okay, I'll give this guy the smallest little bit of credit. At least he's self-aware that the shit he's saying is stupid.
If you're someone who's been watching this channel for the past 3 or 4 years, then you know exactly what I'm going to say. And it has to do with the fact that Doom: The Dark Ages has no online multiplayer.
Yup. You heard it here first, folks. He's going to be boycotting Doom: The Dark Ages because it does not have multiplayer, which hasn't been confirmed yet, by the way. How dare the Doom developers focus all their time into the mode everyone is going to play the game for? How dare the Doom developers try to give us the best campaign possible at the expense of the multiplayer?
But the fact that if you look at the Steam page it says single player game, like, that's literally on the description of the pre-order. So that's one thing, and there are articles saying that the game is not going to have multiplayer.
Do you care to show any of these articles? Of course not. But I'm pretty sure Doom Eternal was the same way, and that game ended up having a multiplayer, so...
So I'm just going to assume that that's the case, because that's what happened in Doom Eternal.
I don't know if you've played Doom Eternal, but the game came out with a multiplayer battle mode. This is where I have to suggest that you actually research this shit before you make a video like this, and I know I've made the same mistake before too. Once you publish the video, there's no taking it back.
Doom 2016 had a full, robust online multiplayer experience, and then in Doom Eternal, they completely got rid of that, cut it out. They did have some, what was it called, battle mode that nobody played or cared about.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. He literally admits that there was multiplayer in Doom Eternal and nobody cared about it. So given that information and id Software learning that nobody really played it, why would they spend all this time and resources to make a multiplayer that nobody's gonna give a shit about? The reason why Doom 2016's multiplayer was so good is because it was co-developed with another company.
That hasn't officially been said by the publisher.
It hasn't officially been said, but allow me to pump out a 23-minute YouTube video basically saying I'm going to boycott the game because of something that might not even be true.
and was definitely not a replacement of the multiple game modes that the Doom 2016 multiplayer had, including Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, and all the other modes that it had to offer. It was a full multiplayer, while all Doom Eternal had was a 1v2 mode, a shitty one at that, and people just instantly moved on to something else, while Doom 2016 still has online players to this day.
Yeah, a few months ago, I decided to go and actually try to play Doom 2016. I tried for a couple days. I tried like one day, couldn't find a lobby, tried the next day, couldn't find a lobby. And even when I tried for the third day, I still couldn't find a lobby, so I don't know where you're playing. But do you know what I could play and what I did play? The campaign. Because the campaign doesn't rely on having to have other players to boot it up. I never understood this obsession some people have with everything having to be multiplayer.
So I don't want anyone to say, well, Doom multiplayer has never been a thing. Doom multiplayer doesn't have a community. Doom multiplayer is not something that is just a tacked-on experience that, you know, is just like whatever. It's just like a side thing and nobody cares about it.
But it is a tacked-on experience, though. Most people are playing Doom for the single-player campaign. Now, I'm not going to say that nobody cares about the multiplayer, because that simply is not true. A lot of people like the Doom multiplayer. I liked Doom 2016's multiplayer, but the main focus of the game is the campaign.
Doom 1 and 2 were fucking huge back in the 90s. Not just for single-player, but also for online multiplayer. Anyone who truly believes that is just simply that they don't know anything about the Doom series and they don't know anything about the history of it.
Now, I want you guys to keep that clip in mind.
But yeah, to say that Doom was never a multiplayer thing and that it didn't have an online community and it was just always like a side mode that was just added in.
Remember earlier how he claimed that other people don't know anything about the Doom series? Well, funnily enough, neither does he. The original Doom did not even launch with multiplayer. They added it on, or tacked it on, 1 year later. Also, in Doom 2016, they didn't even make the multiplayer. They outsourced it.
You know, because that was a huge thing for so many years. Not so much these days. Games are usually single player or multiplayer and not really both. But for a while, every game had to have a single player and a multiplayer tacked on. There was a lot of tacked on subpar multiplayer experiences that didn't really need to be there. But that was never Doom.
Dude, that was literally Doom Eternal. The battle mode, the online multiplayer mode, was honestly subpar and most people did not like or care about it.
Prime of that game, like leading up to Doom Eternal and even after Doom Eternal came out, you had many people still playing the multiplayer for Doom 2016, so even though there was a lot of noise online about how the multiplayer sucked and it wasn't fun and it wasn't this and it wasn't that, there still were a lot of people, myself included, that absolutely loved it.
So you claim a lot of people did not like Doom 2016's multiplayer and they voiced their opinions. A lot of people did not like Doom Eternal's multiplayer and they voiced their opinions. So maybe you could understand why id Software decided not to make a multiplayer mode again, considering the vast majority of people don't really like Doom's multiplayer modes, and the campaign is what draws people into the new Doom games. So why not put all of their money and effort towards what people care about?
It wasn't perfect, but I think considering the fact that id Software didn't even develop it themselves, they outsourced it to a different studio.
They didn't even care enough about multiplayer to make it, because campaign is the thing that everyone goes to Doom for.
So there wasn't really any coordination. They just kind of did their own thing, released their multiplayer mode, and it was just kind of slapped on at the last minute.
But wait, I thought you said earlier in this video that Doom multiplayer was never a thing that was just tacked on. But here you literally admit it yourself.
The main defense that I've heard from the fanboys and the corporate shills defending this.
Yup, that's right. Agree with this guy or you are a Play-Doh munching fanboy. Or just a corporate shill. The only opinion you should hold is that of a random motherfucker on YouTube who uploaded a 24-minute coping session
Against you. I personally have decided not to play it and to boycott it.
Oh shit. I'm sure id Software is about to go homeless because this person on YouTube is going to boycott their game. This one-person boycott is totally going to kill Doom, guys.
and probably never play it ever because of just how angry that I am over the removal of multiplayer, which is essentially we're getting 50% less of a game than we did in the previous entry.
That has to be the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Apparently, because they're not working on a multiplayer mode, that means we get 50% less of a game? But what if they use that time to make more levels in the campaign? What if they use that time they would have spent on the multiplayer to make the campaign levels longer or better?
Just because I'm in the minority, and the vast majority of people may disagree with me in the fact that I think that Doom is completely dead now, and I think that Doom is completely dead now, and
That's right, guys. Doom is completely dead because they didn't cater to the 2% of the Doom community that buys the game just for multiplayer. I mean, this is just absolutely fantastic logic. Bro, why did you upload this shit?
never want to play a Doom game ever again, completely boycotting anything to do with Doom going forward, and I think it's a scumbag move to just kill the multiplayer, and I'm supposed to be fine with that?
Bro, it's not that deep. This dude is like literally seething behind his monitor, bro. You can hear the anger in his voice. You know, I thought DSP's take on Doom the Dark Ages was bad. I made a video on that. But then in comes this guy. He says, "Hold my multiplayer," and he drops a take 10 times worse. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. What is the moral of the story? Well, Doom is dead, and id Software is about to go out of business.